Ethan Hunt went brain dead to save me, so I gave up going home and stayed in the mission world to take care of him. But in the 3rd year of staying in the mission world, he suddenly drove a car and ran me over. Then, holding his beloved's hand, he said to me, "Finally, this day has come. As long as you die, Jillian and I can replace your identity as a strategist and live forever." Only then did I realize that he had been pretending to be stupid, plotting to steal the system. But he didn't know that I had been enduring the system's punishment. I said to the system, "There are new hosts willing to replace me, and there are 2 of them. Can you let me go?" 1. "So you've been pretending to be stupid all along?" I lay in a pool of blood, looking at Ethan Hunt in disbelief. He held Jillian Reed in his arms, his dark eyes filled with coldness. "That's right. How else could I make you feel sorry for me and stay? But I still have to thank you for telling me about the system, otherwise I wouldn't know how to save Jillian." Jillian Reed shrank in his arms, her face a little pale. She was Ethan Hunt's first love, and she had leukemia and had been fighting cancer. Ethan Hunt once told me, "Her illness has nothing to do with me. We broke up a long time ago. But now I know that he started planning 3 years ago to save her." My body suddenly started to feel a tearing pain, which wasn't from the car accident. It was the system punishing me. Because I had been trying to get Ethan Hunt to fall in love with me, and if he didn't love me, I would be punished. It hurts. I couldn't help but cry out. I had experienced the pain of being torn apart many times, but I still couldn't get used to it. "Does it hurt that much?" Ethan Hunt looked at me. "Aren't you strategists able to directly ask the system to waive the pain?" His nonchalant appearance reminded me of the happy times I had with him. Back then, he was all eyes on me. I thought I had found true love, so I told him about the system. But I didn't tell him that I would be punished, because I was afraid he would worry. The pain continued to intensify, and I was in so much pain that I almost bit my teeth to pieces. "Don't say any more." Every word he said made me suffer unspeakably. Jillian Reed suddenly walked over and took my hand. "Sister, does it really hurt that much?" "Ethan, why don't we not pursue immortality? It's okay if I die." "No." Ethan Hunt immediately denied, looking at her with heartache. "Jillian, you're different from her. She's a strategist, and she can return to her original world even if she dies. But if you die, you'll really be gone. You don't need to feel sorry for her." Where Ethan Hunt couldn't see, Jillian Reed gave me a smug look, then quietly said, "Do you know? I told Ethan Hunt that as long as he says he doesn't love you, you'll be in a lot of pain. He's been saying it ever since he found out. He doesn't love you. He only loves me. After all, I'm the female lead of this world." As soon as she finished speaking, Ethan Hunt hugged her in his arms. Ethan Hunt looked at her, his eyes especially gentle. "I've already bought Hilltop Manor as our future marital home. I once told Ethan Hunt that I had no parents or home in my original world, and my only wish was to have a home. So he bought me a mansion, this Hilltop Manor. I painstakingly decorated it all by myself, and finally waited until this year to move in. But now he wants me to die." My hand fell to the ground, and I said to the system, "I've finally found new hosts, and there are 2 of them. Can you let me go?" "Ethan Hunt, you actually don't want me anymore. Then I can only not want you either." 2. Okay, sensing that there are new hosts taking over the system. "Host, are you sure you want to transfer me to these 2 people?" Listening to the system's voice, I looked at Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed. The 2 of them were kissing while hugging each other, with fireworks in the background to add to the fun. In a daze, I saw Ethan Hunt's silly appearance from the past. He said, "Joanne, thank you for being there for me, I love you." He would heat up hot chocolate for me every day, and he would even wash my dirty underwear when I had my period. No one had ever loved me like that before, and I thought he was someone I could rely on for the rest of my life. But I was wrong. "I'm sure," I said bitterly in my heart. "Okay, host, I will begin the transfer. Why hasn't the system appeared yet?" Jillian Reed suddenly spoke. Ethan Hunt explained to her, "Joanne must be communicating with it. Just wait a little longer. She always gets distracted when she communicates with the system." "Hello, 2 new hosts. The system's voice was played out loud, so it wasn't just me who could hear it. From today onwards, you will become my new hosts. Please choose your target to capture. I choose Jillian Reed. I choose Ethan Hunt. The two of them spoke at the same time, their determined looks making them seem very loving. I suddenly remembered when Ethan Hunt was silly, he said to me, no matter what, I will always firmly choose Joanne. But now, he's choosing someone else. Okay, but because the transfer will take 3 days, you have to wait. Then the system disappeared and said to me alone, you can only leave in 3 days. I will heal your car accident injuries so you can say goodbye to your loved ones here. As soon as it finished speaking, the wounds on my body healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ethan Hunt exclaimed in surprise, see, Jillian, I told you she could ask the system to restore her body. The system is really good. We can be like this in the future and not be afraid of getting hurt or dying. I got up and looked at Ethan Hunt with disappointment. But he doesn't know that the system isn't that good. 3. I went to the hospital to see Grandpa Evans. In this world, besides Ethan Hunt, Grandpa Evans was my only family. He was very, very good to them. He would give me all his savings to buy a car for Ethan Hunt and me. He would also save the things he couldn't bear to eat for me. When I got to the hospital, I ran into Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed. They were holding hands, and Ethan Hunt was holding a pregnancy test report. That's great, Jillian. I'm going to be a dad. These words were like a long sword, piercing my heart fiercely. I once wanted to have a child with Ethan Hunt too. At that time, he was still silly. He told me, I don't want kids. Kids are too annoying. I thought he was just talking nonsense because he was silly. Looking back now, I realized that he was telling the truth. He didn't want to have children with me, but he was willing to have them with Jillian Reed. He even hooked up with Jillian Reed when he was with me. Host, the punishment device has now been removed for you. In the future, you will no longer be punished because of the emotions of the person you are trying to capture. As soon as the system finished speaking, I felt a sense of relief all over my body. I can finally be free from restraints in the future. I can live freely. This is also pretty good. 4. Grandpa Evans saw me and handed me a box of cookies. He looked at me kindly. The nurse gave it to me. Joanne, you eat it. Tears immediately streamed down my face. If I leave this world, what will happen to Grandpa Evans in the future? I have to leave him a way out. So I immediately wanted to go home to get money. I used to live with Ethan Hunt, and all my things were in his house. As soon as I got home, I ran into the nanny who was carrying my things out. When she saw me, she hurriedly said, Madam, Mr. told me to throw your things away. He said, you won't be coming back to live here in the future. I glanced at my things, and they were all broken, including the plaster dolls that Ethan Hunt and I had made together. I didn't expect him to be so heartless. But my money is still on his card, and I have to get it back. So I wanted to open the door and go in, but it prompted that the password was wrong. The nanny said embarrassedly, Mr. also told me to change the password. My heart felt like it had been stabbed by something, and I tried to control my breathing. Then what's the current password? The nanny looked hesitant, so I said again, my things are still inside. I want to go in and get them. 20180812, August 12, 2018, the day Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed were together. I took 2 steps back and felt ridiculous. Yesterday he was still holding me in his arms, saying he loved me. This morning, he tricked me into going to a deserted road, saying he wanted to give me a surprise. He covered my eyes after I got out of the car. I was full of joy and anticipation for his surprise, but I was cruelly hit by a car. Ethan Hunt, you wanted me to die so much, to steal my identity as a strategist. But do you know how difficult it is to be a strategist? 5. I pushed the door open and went in. Ethan Hunt was pressing Jillian Reed against the bar, his face full of love. Jillian, I will love you well in the future. With a thud, the bag in my hand fell to the ground. Even though I had decided to let him go, I still felt very sad when I saw him doing this with someone else. What are you doing here? Ethan Hunt looked at me unhappily. You're not welcome here. His cold appearance suddenly reminded me of 3 years ago, when I violated the system for him. The system punished me to experience the pain of broken bones. I wanted to die from the pain at that time, but I persevered for him. I thought I would be with him forever in the mission world. But now I know I was wrong. I'm here to get money. The money I've earned over the years is all with you. I need it to treat my grandpa, Evan's illness. Ethan Hunt didn't stop what he was doing when he heard my words. Instead, he acted as if he didn't hear anything and kept pinching Jillian Reed's waist while doing that kind of thing. I felt disgusted and wanted to vomit, but I tried my best to endure it. Anyway, I'll be able to leave soon. Then I'll go get it myself. I was just about to go into the room when Jillian Reed stopped me. Sister, isn't your grandpa, Evans, better? Why do you still need to get money? You wouldn't be trying to take the money back to your original world, would you? As soon as these words came out, Ethan Hunt's cold eyes swept over. You love money that much? I'm telling you, even if it's what you earned, I can't possibly give it to you. This money belongs to this world. You can't take it away. I didn't expect him to become so shameless. The Ethan Hunt who used to love me and treat me well is really gone. Ethan Hunt, I said, I'm using it for my grandpa, Evans. I won't take a single cent away. I can't give it to you. Get out of here. I clenched my fists, wanting to say something, but I didn't know what to say. Anyway, he will only believe Jillian Reed's words now. 6. I turned around and wanted to leave, but Jillian Reed suddenly came over and grabbed my hand. Sister, don't go. If you really need money, I'll lend it to you. As soon as she finished speaking, she suddenly sat down on the ground and hit her head hard on the coffee table next to her. Ah, it hurts. Bang! Ethan Hunt didn't even think about it and came over to push me away hard. I was pushed to the side of the tea bar, and the tea bar was knocked over as a result. The hot water inside poured all over me. I exclaimed in shock from the burn. Joanne Evans, why did you push Jillian Reed? Ethan Hunt looked at me angrily. If you're angry, take it out on me. Don't take it out on Jillian Reed. He said Jillian Reed with every breath, making me feel harsh. Can't he see that I'm being scalded by hot water? But I'm too weak to explain anything. I just want to get the money and arrange Grandpa Evans' affairs. Then return to the original world. Ethan Hunt, just give me 500,000. Give me 500,000, and I'll leave immediately, otherwise I'll still bully your Jillian Reed. Joanne! He glared at me, his eyes like knives. He suddenly rushed over and grabbed my neck, using a lot of force, gradually squeezing the air out of my mouth. Why do you have to be so vicious? Can't we just break up peacefully? I also want to break up peacefully, but you're not willing. I just want money. I struggled to speak. He threw me on the ground. Okay, I'll give it to you. But I have a condition. What? I asked him while coughing. Kneel down and kowtow to Jillian Reed as an apology. I was stunned for a moment. I didn't expect him to say that. I thought he still had at least a shred of affection for me. After all, I had been with him for so many years. Okay. I responded to him, got up and walked step by step to Jillian Reed and knelt down. I'm sorry, I said as I kowtowed. Suddenly, Ethan Hunt pressed my head hard against the ground. It hurt so much that I bit my tongue. You made Jillian Reed hit her head just now. Now we're even. Okay. Then can you give me the money now? He took out the card and put it on his shoe. Come and get it yourself. Okay. He was surprised this time when he heard my response. He probably didn't expect me to agree to everything. After all, I used to be such a proud person. But I'm about to leave now, and I'm willing to do anything for Grandpa Evans. I crawled over and was about to take the card with my hand when he suddenly grabbed my hand and said through gritted teeth, Joanne Evans, you're so cheap for money. Tears fell uncontrollably, and I suddenly remembered his decisiveness when he hit me earlier. He doesn't care about me anymore, and I don't need to care about him either. I picked up the card and stood up. At this moment, I suddenly received a message that something had happened to my grandpa, Evans, and he had been sent to the emergency room. I immediately wanted to run to the hospital, but Ethan who? NT grabbed me. You want to leave after taking the money? There's no such cheap thing in the world. Stay here and be our nanny for a few days. Let go of me. I wanted to shake him off, but he was holding my hand very tightly. Ethan Hunt, something happened to my grandpa, Evans. Let me go. It's ridiculous. You said something happened to your grandpa, Evans, and you want to leave after getting the money. Joanne, you're even using your grandpa, Evans, to lie for money. I didn't. I was so anxious. At this moment, the system suddenly spoke. The transfer system is ready ahead of schedule. You don't have to wait until 3 days later. Do you want to switch now? 7. Yes. I want to. I roared, startling Ethan Hunt. Okay, starting the transfer. Countdown 1. What are you talking about? Ethan Hunt looked at me in confusion. 2. At this moment, I only had hatred for him in my heart. Ethan Hunt, you want to steal my identity as a strategist. But I'm telling you, from this moment on, your nightmare is just beginning. 3. Transfer successful. Hello, 2 hosts. The system has been successfully parasitized on you. Please complete the mission well in the future. Hearing this voice, Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed were overjoyed, and I took the opportunity to leave. Sitting in the car, I kept recalling the way I used to be tortured by the system. I really don't know how I survived it. That feeling was so painful and so uncomfortable. But now, it has all been transferred to Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed. 8. As soon as I got to the hospital, I was notified that Grandpa, Evans, had passed away. There was a box of cookies next to his hospital bed. My whole body went limp and I collapsed on the ground. My mind was buzzing and I felt like my movements were sluggish. I couldn't believe it, and I didn't want to believe that Grandpa, Evans, was gone. I covered my mouth and large tears streamed down my face. At this moment, Ethan Hunt and Jillian Reed walked over, hand in hand, looking extremely proud. Now that we have the system, we will never get old or get hurt. Ethan Hunt was especially happy. He looked exactly like he did when he told me he loved me. My heart ached to the extreme, and I rushed forward and grabbed his clothes. Ethan Hunt, my grandpa, Evans, is gone. If you hadn't kept dragging me just now, he might have been saved, and I might have been able to see him one last time. You beast, it's all your fault. I vented all my emotions on him. He pushed me away, his eyes a little flustered, but he quickly said, your grandpa, Evans, was sick himself. What does it have to do with me? I leaned against the wall and cried. Jillian Reed walked over and handed me a tissue. As she got closer to me, she suddenly said, guess how your grandpa, Evans, died? I was stunned. She continued, I had someone tell him that you were abandoned by Ethan Hunt because you cheated on him, and he was so angry that he vomited blood on the spot. Her words were like bombs, exploding in my mind in an instant. My emotions could no longer be controlled and I slapped her hard across the face. Bitch, give me back my grandpa, Evans, give him back to me. I beat her like crazy. Ethan Hunt hurriedly came over and kicked me away. He anxiously hugged Jillian Reed, his face full of heartache. Jillian, are you okay? I was kicked to the side of the wall, and my stomach hurt badly. The man who used to only hug me is now hugging someone else. I finally had a family member, and now they're gone. 9. I was disheartened. Seeing the railing in front of me, I suddenly wanted to end it all. I walked towards it step by step, and just as I was about to jump, Ethan Hunt grabbed my hand. His face was full of disbelief. Are you crazy? It's just that your grandpa, Evans, is gone. Why are you being so extreme? I pushed him away hard. Ethan Hunt, I really regret ever loving you. If I hadn't fallen in love with him, I wouldn't be in so much pain now, and I wouldn't have experienced all that pain. Grandpa, Evans, in this world wouldn't have died either. I pushed Ethan Hunt away and left the hospital to prepare for Grandpa, Evans' funeral. The system reminded me the channel for leaving is still being established. I will tell you when you can leave. If there are any regrets in this world, go and complete them. I couldn't believe that this was the same heartless system that treated me that way. Actually, it's also pretty good that Ethan Hunt and Gillian Reed replaced my identity as a strategist. At least I don't have to do tasks that seem to have no end, and I don't have to accept punishment anymore. 10. Grandpa Evans' funeral was simple, with only white lilies, and me. I knelt in front of his tombstone and kowtowed to him. Ethan Hunt suddenly came, holding white lilies in his hand. Grandpa Evans used to be very good to me. I came to see him. Looking at him like this, I sneered, Ethan Hunt, have you forgotten that you're a strategist now? As soon as I finished speaking, the flowers in his hand suddenly fell to the ground. He held his head and took several steps back. It hurts. What's wrong? I knew it was the system punishing him. This was only the beginning. I got up and looked at him coldly. You should go back to your Gillian Reed. I wanted to leave, but he grabbed my leg. Don't go. I have something to say to you. As he said that, he took out a card from his bag. Your grandpa, Evans' death made me think of a lot of things. You've helped me a lot in the past. This is a thank you fee for you. I didn't expect him to give me money voluntarily. But now money has no value to me. Grandpa Evans is already dead, and I don't like money anymore. I threw the card on the ground. I don't want it. Ethan Hunt, don't come looking for me in the future either. His pupils shrank, his eyes full of shock. I turned around and left. 11. Walking out of the cemetery, I ran into Gillian Reed. Her face was full of pride. See? So what if you're a strategist? The male lead was still stolen by me. Joanne Evans, I can't beat you. I know I can't beat you. I said softly. How about this? I only have a few days left before I leave. For the rest of the days, I'll be your nanny. Hearing this, she was incredulous. Do you know what you're saying? I know. I just want to take good care of you for the last time. Actually, I wanted to see them being tortured with my own eyes. That way I can leave with peace of mind. Are you out of your mind? Gillian Reed looked disgusted. At this time, Ethan Hunt walked over. Okay. He said to me. Since you want to be a nanny, then come. It looked like he wasn't joking. I didn't know what he was thinking. I only knew that I wanted to see them being punished, so I agreed. Following them back home, the first thing Gillian Reed did was throw a pile of underwear at me. Go wash it clean, then dry it and bring it to me and Ethan. I knew she was deliberately disgusting me. But now I don't love Ethan Hunt anymore, and she can't disgust me. I turned around and was about to go wash it when Ethan Hunt said coldly, How cheap. You'll do whatever you're told. Where's your former aura? I didn't know why he said that, and I was too lazy to pay attention to him and left. While washing the underwear, I could still hear the sounds of the two of them in the room from time to time. I didn't feel anything in my heart listening to it. Ethan Hunt, Gillian Reed, you wait. One day you will regret stealing my identity as a strategist. After drying the underwear, I brought it over. Ethan Hunt hugged Gillian Reed, looking very proud. The system just rewarded us with 100,000 because we were so successful in capturing each other. Joanne Evans, I have to thank you for telling me about this, otherwise I would never have known there was such a good thing as the system. I didn't say anything, just smiled. Good, that's right. I hope you won't regret it in the future. 12. The next day, Ethan Hunt took Gillian Reed to Europe for a trip, and he brought me along too. Now I just want to see them being punished, so I'm also happy to follow. As soon as we got there, Ethan Hunt ordered me to buy condoms. I turned around to go buy them, but he suddenly said, Do you not mind me doing that kind of thing with Gillian Reed at all? You used to be. Why should I mind? Don't you not love me anymore? I said these words without any emotion. His face gradually darkened. I mean, you used to like me so much. How could you stop loving me so quickly? I laughed at his words. If I hit you with a car and then got together with someone else, would you still love me? but you wouldn't really get hurt. But my heart has already been hurt. Ethan Hunt, I will never love you again in this life. After buying the condoms and going back, Ethan Hunt was gently saying to Jillian Reed, go to the beach to take pictures later. I have a few buddies looking for me, so I won't accompany you. As he said that, he was about to get up and take the condoms. But he suddenly fell to the ground, writhing in pain. Ah, my head hurts so much. Jillian Reed hurriedly went forward. What's wrong, Ethan? Don't scare me. I stood there quietly watching, and suddenly felt very comfortable in my heart. These were all the pains I had experienced in the past. The system I encountered was especially strict. As long as Ethan Hunt had a little bit of behavior that didn't love me, I would be punished. Once, he didn't accompany me to go shopping because he was busy with work, and I was also punished by the system. Over the years, I have been punished countless times. Every time, it was so painful that I wanted to die. But for Ethan Hunt, I endured it again and again, and persevered again and again. And now, it's finally Ethan Hunt's turn to experience my pain from the past. Because of Jillian Reed's approach, Ethan Hunt's pain disappeared again. Why don't know that the system is so strict, and they don't know that the system is punishing them at all. Ethan Hunt breathed a sigh of relief. I think I've been sick lately. My head always hurts suddenly. I have to go to the hospital to see a doctor. 13. Jillian Reed and Ethan Hunt went to see a doctor, but nothing could be found. Ethan Hunt, this kind of pain is just the beginning. Can't you take it anymore now? When I think of how painful I was in the past, I want him to be even more painful than me. I want him to know how difficult it is for a strategist to love someone. I put in so much effort to love him back then. In the evening, there was a bonfire party on the beach. Jillian Reed suddenly proposed to Ethan Hunt with a bouquet of roses. Ethan Hunt was shocked and hesitated to say yes. He seemed to be thinking about something. I think he must be very happy. Sure enough, he took the flowers in the next second and agreed to Jillian Reed. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I can feel his eyes looking at me from time to time. What is he looking at me for? Does he want to know if I'm sad? Of course I won't be sad anymore. Because I don't love him anymore. The system told me at this time, you can leave at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Hearing this, I unexpectedly looked forward to going home. Although I have no family or home in that world. But I have a group of good friends. In this world, it's not just love that can heal you. I suddenly understood and happily drank a glass of wine. Ethan Hunt suddenly walked over and looked at me coldly. You're so happy. What are you thinking about? Nothing. I felt he was being unreasonable. I wanted to leave, but he kept following me. Joanne Evans, I want to say a few words to you. Before he could finish speaking, he suddenly fell to the ground and clutched his head, saying it hurt. Jillian Reed on the other side was also in the same state as him, in so much pain that she wanted to bang her head against the wall. LL. Because she said a word to another man just now, she was punished by the system. They don't know how strict the system is, so they won't avoid these things. Then they can only be punished. At first it's a headache, and then it's the pain of being torn apart. It hurts so much. What's going on? Ethan Hunt struggled desperately. I looked at him and suddenly smiled. Ethan Hunt, do you know? Actually, there's a secret I've been keeping from you. WH. What? He struggled to speak, looking at me in pain. Although strategists won't die, they will be punished by the system if they do something against the rules. Why, you mean I'm being punished by the system now? That's right. Impossible. Of course you'll think it's impossible. Do you think that as long as you're dating Jillian Reed, as long as she doesn't say she doesn't love you, your mission will be successful? I squatted next to him and said slowly. But you're wrong. The system will sense the changes in your inner emotions. Once there is even a little bit of not loving each other, or putting each other down to do other things, you will be punished. It will be very painful every time you are punished. This is why I wanted to escape the system in the first place. Because it's too painful. As long as there's something you didn't do well, you'll be punished. But the system required me to find a new host to replace me, and they had to be willing to do it. I never thought I'd find anyone in this lifetime, but Ethan Hunt and Gillian Reed were willing. No, impossible. Ethan Hunt's eyes widened. The more he acted like this, the more the system would punish him. No, it hurts so much. He rolled around on the ground, desperately. If it were before, I would have felt sorry for him, but now my heart was unmoved. 14. I finally saw Ethan Hunt and Gillian Reed being punished. Now that I think about how smug they were at the beginning, they must regret it now that they know the truth. At dawn, Ethan who? NT found me. He looked at me, pale and pitiful. Why didn't you tell me those things sooner? Because I loved you back then, so I didn't want you to worry. I didn't expect to become a tool for you to take revenge on me. Ethan Hunt, I really didn't expect you to steal my identity as a target. He couldn't speak. After a long silence, he looked up at me, his voice bitter. Is there any way to the system? I suddenly laughed. Can't stand the pain so soon? Do you know how many years I suffered for you? Also, the day you hit me with your car, every word you said to me was making my punishment worse. You knew it, but you kept saying it on purpose. It's not like that. He shook his head, his face pale. I thought you would only be in a little pain. I didn't expect it to be so painful. And I thought you had a system, so you'd be okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were in so much pain back then. I was a little surprised. I didn't expect him to apologize to me. But I didn't want to forgive him. Joanne Evans, I beg you to tell me how to the system. I don't want to be bound by it, and I don't want to live forever. There's no way to it. I wouldn't tell him it could be transferred. I wanted him to suffer for the rest of his life. Ethan Hunt, if you hadn't been selfish in the first place, you wouldn't be where you are now. Although you said you wanted to save Gillian Reed, you were also doing it for yourself, right? You also wanted to live forever. No one can control their selfishness when faced with something desirable. I used to think Ethan Hunt was different from others, so I told him everything. I didn't expect to capsize the boat myself. I just want to live a good life. He felt a little guilty. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Now I've figured it out. As long as you help me the system, can we get back together? Joanne, I won't betray you again. We'll live a happy life like we used to. The old me and him were indeed very happy. I even fantasized about spending my life with him like that. But Ethan Hunt, it's too late. I never thought about forgiving you either, because I will never forget the day you hit me with your car. I was lying in a pool of blood. It hurt so much, but you didn't care. Also, you humiliated me when I asked you for money. If you hadn't dragged me down, I might have seen Grandpa, followed by name, one last time. Ethan Hunt, that's why I hate you. I'm leaving tomorrow. We won't see each other again. No. I beg you, don't leave. He suddenly grabbed my hand, begging me. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. I really regret deceiving you. After being with Gillian Reed, I found that I wasn't so happy. When she proposed to me, I actually wanted to refuse, but I was afraid of being punished by the system, so I agreed. I love you, Joanne. As soon as he finished speaking, the system began to punish him. He lay on the ground, screaming desperately. System, don't punish me anymore, I beg you. Ethan Hunt, I have experienced this kind of pain countless times. Yours is just the beginning. Take it slow, you will be in pain forever. 15. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat by the sea waiting for 8 o'clock to arrive. I thought Ethan Hunt would accept the punishment and wouldn't dare to come to me again. I didn't expect him to come again. I beg you, Joanne Evans, don't leave. Give me one more chance. I will love you well. System, I want to change the target, Ori, host. Once the target is determined, it cannot be changed. Damn system. Ethan Hunt cursed. Looking at him, I suddenly felt that he was quite pathetic. He would be bound by the system for the rest of his life. Ethan Hunt, if you hadn't been selfish in the first place, it would have been impossible for me to get rid of the system. So I also want to thank you for taking the system. Hearing my words, he was a little dazed, as if he was thinking about something. I knew what he was thinking. He was thinking that what he said to me back then was also like this. Joanne Evans, can I leave with you? He looked at me, his eyes full of expectation. The system began to punish him again, but this time he didn't say a word. He just clenched his fists, gritted his teeth and said to me, I want to leave with you, and make up for you for the rest of my life. I really know I was wrong, even if I don't the system, I want to be with you. Ethan Hunt, you don't think I'll be moved by this, do you? I laughed. You think I don't know you want me to help you find a way to the system? I knew him too well. He thought that as long as he was good to me and made me fall in love with him, I wouldn't bear to see him suffer. Ethan Hunt, you may have a little love for me, otherwise the system wouldn't punish you. But your love is not pure. Also, the system will follow you for the rest of your life. No. He roared. Joanne, I only did that one thing wrong. I beg you to forgive me. Please. I looked at the time, it was only 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. The sunrise on the beach had already risen. Ethan Hunt, I'm leaving soon. Say goodbye to you in advance. As soon as I finished speaking, Jillian Reed came over again. She was also kneeling in front of me in pain. Joanne Evans, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have killed Grandpa, followed by name, I shouldn't have stolen Ethan Hunt, I was wrong. I beg you to help me the system. I'm so painful, please. Ethan Hunt heard all her words, his eyes filled with shock. You said you killed Joanne Evans' grandpa, followed by name? I just wanted to make Joanne Evans suffer, but I regret it. It hurts. Joanne Evans, help me. The two of them looked embarrassed, their faces were also bloodless, and they looked very pitiful. But it was impossible for me to be soft-hearted. I won't help any of you. One of you killed my grandpa, followed by name, and the other betrayed me. I will never forgive you in this lifetime. From now on, you will torture each other in this world. As soon as I finished speaking, the system prompted that I could go home. My body began to dissipate little by little. Ethan Hunt's pupils dilated, and he rushed towards me like crazy, begging me not to leave. But all he touched was air. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to my original world. A friend was sending me a message, asking me to eat hot pot tonight. I suddenly felt that life here was also very good. I should learn to forget the bad memories and life in the past. Later, I began to live an active and optimistic life. I opened my own flower shop, arranging flowers every day and meeting different customers. 2 years later, I actually ran into Ethan Hunt, who came to buy flowers. After not seeing him for 2 years, he had become as thin as a bamboo pole, looking particularly scary. I could recognize him because the necklace around his neck was the one I used to give him. Joanne. He cried when he saw me. I used death to exchange with the system for this one meeting with you. His voice choked, his face full of regret. He took out a ring and handed it to me. I promised you that I would marry you, and now I'm proposing to you. He knelt in front of me, his eyes full of sincerity and tenderness. I'm sorry, I don't know you, please leave. I pushed him out and closed the door. Through the glass door, his tears flowed down, and he said to me, Joanne, I love you. I know I did too many wrong things in the past. It was too late when I regretted it. I just thought you were a target and wouldn't have an accident, so I hurt you unscrupulously. I'm sorry, I was wrong. If there is a next life, I will definitely come to love you well. After speaking, his body disappeared. I don't know where he will go, and I don't want to know. From now on, I just want to live a good life alone. Forget Ethan Hunt, forget the system, forget the mission world. The future me is a brand new me.